Welcome back, degenerates, to Place Your Bets. I'm Tyler James. He's the one and only Eric Hansen. We cover Notre Dame football, recruiting, and more for InsideNDSports.com on the Rivals Network. And we like to make prop bets and predictions about Notre Dame football. Our season-long competition on the Insider Lounge rewards the first-place subscriber with a 12-month extension of their subscription, and second place gets 6 free months. There's a thread over on the Insider Lounge for you to submit your picks. It's also listed in the video description below. We had 5 subscribers nail all 5 Purdue prop bets last week, so congrats to ND Navy 86, BMM 2834, Jimmy J1, Parvin 70, and ND Guy 94. Unfortunately, Eric, we did much worse. You had 2 correct. I only managed to get 1 right. Are you starting to get worried about the way we've started our season?
Well, I needed to write down the names of the people that got 5 right. I need to copy off their paper.
Well, Jimmy J1 is our leader through 3 weeks with 12 correct prop bets. Eric, you have 8. I have 7. So we got a lot of work to do to catch up. So let's try to do better with our prop bets for Notre Dame's home game Saturday with Miami of Ohio. First one I have for us, Eric, is over under 40.5 rushing yards for Miami.
Well, first of all, my first prop bet is you're going to get ruler across your knuckles from Bennett Wise, who's a Miami, Ohio grad. Since we're not supposed to say Miami of Ohio, we had explicit instructions in their press release, and he tweeted that. Okay, let's go back to the.
Should I say Miami parentheses Ohio? I don't.
Yes, or Miami, Ohio. Yeah. It's so unnatural. It's like when Pitt said, "No, we don't want to be Pitt anymore," and they go, yeah, okay, we'll be Pitt. For over under 40.5 rushing yards, boy, this seems like a sucker bet to me. Miami is dead last in rushing offense in the country, and they've struggled against both Northwestern and Cincinnati in running the ball, and I think Notre Dame is a better defense than either of those teams. So I'm going to go with the very obvious and say under.
I'm going over. It sort of feels impossible to predict a total that low, even though all the numbers indicate that it's very realistic. Purdue only managed 38 yards against Notre Dame last week, but I'm betting on some fluky gains in the second half that gets Miami over what it needs. 41 rushing yards being the number that you need to get the over here just seems so low that I'm going to take the over, even if Miami has shown very little ability to rush the football so far this season. All right, next one we have, Eric, is who will lead the Irish in receptions? And if there's a tie in receptions, for the record, we'll break it by whoever has more receiving yards of the players that are tied with receptions.
I was mulling between Mitchell Evans and Bo Collins, and I'm going to go with Bo Collins on that one.
Yeah, I went with Collins as well. He's the team's leading receiver with 12 receptions this season. I still think he will be at the top for this game. I was going to recommend folks that didn't want to take Collins that Evans would be a decent answer. I think he's going to start stacking catches this season. Miami of Ohio, at least according to Pro Football Focus, has some linebackers who aren't bad in coverage. So that was like, well, maybe let's just stick with what has been the case so far this season and go with Bo Collins. All right, next is over under 10.5 carries for Riley Leonard.
So far this year, he's been 12, 11, and 11, and none in the second half of the last 2 games for different reasons. I think Miami's going to kind of hang around in this game for a while, and I think given their struggles as a run defense, I'm going to kind of go counterintuitive and go over 10.5.
All right, I'm going to go under for the first time this season. I think I'm counting on Notre Dame not needing him to carry it as much to have success, and I think it seems like a good week for him to continue to focus on staying in the pocket and finish his progressions, which has been an issue. So I will go under 10.5 carries for Riley Leonard. All right, before we get to the rest of our prop bets, I wanted to take a moment to remind our audience about our partner Autograph. You can find Inside ND Sports content on the Autograph app, which is free to download on Android and iOS devices. I love personally the daily replay, which summarizes the news from the previous day and provides links to content you may have missed. One of the replay items even mentioned Eric Hansen by name this week. You can download the app using the QR code at the bottom of the screen here on YouTube or by using the link listed in the video description. Make sure you use referral code INDS so Autograph knows that we sent you. All right, next one we have, Eric, is which Notre Dame linebacker will play the most snaps?
Well, there's been a lot of parity in their playing time for those that were skeptical about how many snaps that they would play. The fifth linebacker would play this year. They were between 19 and 25 against Purdue, and they played the whole game. They didn't rotate in Teddy Rizak or Preston Zinner, Bodie Cahoon, guys like that. And then on the year, they're other than Kaiser, they're between 70 and 97. Kaiser's at 130. I'm going to go with Jack Kaiser. That seems like the logical one, but I think Kingston Viliamu-Asa could somehow win that one.
Yeah, and that is my answer, Viliamu-Asa. I think he's going to get early work and late work if it is a blowout still. So that's why I think he might be a good bet this week, because I do think there are different roles that they can use him with the first unit, but then I think he's just so young that it's worth keeping him in and getting more reps late. Although if it does get truly lopsided, I would like to think that they'll get some of those other guys in the game where they didn't last week. All right, next one, over under 39.5 yards per punt for Notre Dame's James Rendell.
You know, I should say under, but I'm going to go, again, counterintuitive here. I think he's eventually going to get it where he booms a 60-yarder. So I'm going to go over.
Yeah, I'm going to go over as well. So pound the under with the way we've been doing so far this season. Rendell has been below that the last two games, but I think the emphasis on settling him down this week will resonate. I don't think he'll face a lot of situations where he's trying to pin Miami back in this game, which if he is faced with a lot of those situations, that shortens his average typically. But I don't think that will be the case this weekend, so I am going over. All right, our fun one for the week. Will we get a video board tribute of Ara Parsegian during the game?
I will say, with all the ties that there are between these two schools, that's the one that makes the most sense. So I'm going to say yes. But I'm wondering where the tribute to Obi Onwenibi is. He was a junior last year, so I would assume he's still in school at Notre Dame. And we have not seen him take off his shirt and wave it around. At least if they did that during the Northern Illinois game, I must have missed it.
I think everyone was way more concerned about what was happening on the field in that Northern Illinois game. That probably wouldn't have been a good time to.
Well, it doesn't stop them from doing their little DJ thing on the field and trivia questions and that kind of stuff.
Well, those people are getting paid. I don't know that Obi gets paid, so I'll reach out to Obi, see what his status is, and if he'll be at the game on Saturday. But yeah, I think a Parsegian tribute would be fitting. He died in 2017 before Miami of Ohio visited Notre Dame Stadium last time. And I imagine, I don't know this for certain, but I imagine he was honored that day. I didn't go back to figure out if he was, but he's certainly someone who is worth honoring again. So I would predict that we will see something reflecting his impact at both schools during the game. All right, last one, Eric. Final score prediction for Notre Dame Miami.
So the point spread, I think, was at 27 at some point. I don't follow it as closely as people that have money writing on this do, but I think Chuck Martin's familiarity with Mike Denbrock and just maybe Notre Dame being a little bit careful and conservative early is going to tamp down the point spread here. So I'm going to go Notre Dame, and I think Miami's a good team. I'm going to go Notre Dame 31 and Miami 9.
All right. Well, I'm predicting a little more lopsided. The Northern Illinois loss and the MAC connection aren't scaring me. and we'll see if Notre Dame makes me look like a fool. But I'm going with Notre Dame 45, Miami 6. I think the Irish will be able to win handily. Miami's offense can't run and likes to pass, and those are the two worst things to be doing. Again, that's the worst combination to be doing against Notre Dame's defense. So I expect the defense to play lights out and put Notre Dame's offense in a lot of good situations, and the offense to have enough firepower to sort of overwhelm Miami. So 45-6. We'll see which one of us is closer, who gets more prop bets right. That is it for our Place Your Bets. Best of luck to everyone with their predictions. Enjoy another Sunday of college football, and we'll talk to you after the game.